All right. So tonight, what I want to share with you guys is why is a mala 108 beads? And then what is the significance with the number 108, which also lends to the reason why the mala is 108 beads. And then what is the Guru bead and what is its significance for the mala? So leading up to that, what is or why is a mala 108 beads? So there's 108 weaved into the world around us in many different ways. So first I'm going to share with you guys some of those things. The rosary beads are made up of 108 beads. Baseball, an official Major League Baseball, is comprised of 108 strings bound around the leather. And there's so many things that the number 108 signifies throughout the universe, throughout the world that we live in. Another way that the 108 shows up has to do with our heart. So in talking about the heart chakra, there's an intersection of energy lines within the body, and there's said to be a total of 108 energy lines converging from your heart out to the rest of your body. Also, in relationship to your heart, there's 108 veins attached to your heart that go out to all the different extremities within your body. So the mala is very, well, not the mala per se, but the number 108 is very symbolic and representative of your heart. So another thing to do with the heart, so one of our energy lines that comes out from our heart is said to lead up to our crown chakra, and this specific energy line is said to be the path to self-realization. So for me, in talking about malas and talking about the number 108 and what they signify and what it represents, for me, the mala is so representative of your own personal healing journey, your own personal life path, your own personal, it's all personal. Every single one of us is different. We all have different reasons for wanting a mala. We all have different things that are going on within us. And so just knowing all of that and knowing everything that is happening with our heart in reference to the number 108, I think that alone is pretty significant. So the next thing that the number 108 is representative of is in astrology. So there's 12 houses and there's 9 planets, and 12 times 9 is 108. And I'm going to get more into the meaning of the specific numbers 1, 0, and 8. But every time that I make a mala, I actually divide them into 9 segments of 12 stones. And so oftentimes when I'm doing that, I rarely make a mala completely of one stone. Typically, I add 18 stones of a different stone. So it'll have 90 stones of one, and it'll have 18 stones of another. And those are also, the way that I divide those up is I usually put them into segments of 3, the 18 beads into segments of 3. And so when I get into the meaning of the number 1, 0, and 8, it will hopefully make sense to you why I choose to put 18 beads using the number 1 and 8 into the malas when I choose to not just use one stone, but I choose to use 2 stones. Another 108 phenomenon is the sun and the earth. So the diameter of the sun is 108 times the diameter of the earth. And the distance from the sun to the earth is 108 times the diameter of the sun. So again, another correlation with and another meaning of the number 108. There's also 108 pressure points in our body. And at the temperature of 108 degrees Fahrenheit, that is the temperature, our internal temperature at which our body starts to fail, our body's internal organs start to fail and shut down from overheating. And obviously, we can't survive and live in our physical body without our vital organs. So now going into the actual numbers 1, 0, and 8. So the number 1 is a higher truth, your higher truth, the universal truth. Number 0 is emptiness or complete within your spiritual practice. Number 8 is a symbol of infinity or eternal. It's the number 8 is actually the infinity symbol that you guys have seen in many different places. That is where that comes from. So another way to look at 1, 0, and 8 is at 1, you are one thing. At 0, you are nothing. At 8, you are everything. And for me, when I was reading through all of this and researching this, when I was reading the part that talked about being one thing, being nothing, and being everything, and the way that they explained it, it just really hit home for me because it's so true. If you really think about it, at times in our life, we're one thing. At times in our life, we're nothing. We're here, we're being, we're experiencing, but we're nothing. And at times in our life, we are everything. We are all one. We are all connected. We are all together. We are all experiencing life in our own way and on our own path, and we're all experiencing it together. So I thought that that was a pretty amazing representation and explanation of 0, 1, and 8. Very simplified explanation, but I really loved that because I feel at times we are all of those things, and at times we are nothing of those things. So that is the number 1, 0, and 8. So going back to what I had said earlier, how sometimes when I'm making a mala, most of the time, I will choose, if I'm choosing 2 stones, I will put 18 beads of a different stone into a mala and 90 beads of the majority stone. And the reason I went with 18 is because of the 1 and the 8, being the one thing and being everything. Because while you are in your physical form, while you are on this planet, you are one thing and you are everything. And so when I'm picking the stones based on what everybody shares, the information that everybody shares with me and what they tell me, if they're choosing to have me custom design and pick the stones for them, I tend to find one stone that is really going to be healing and that is really going to be the major stone that benefits them, that they really need for whatever it is that they're wanting this mala for. And then I typically follow that up with a secondary stone that will just add. It will be, trying to think of the right word. It will be, I'm completely spacing on words right now, but it's basically like this symbiotic relationship that these 2 stones will have. But it's really kind of like a boost. The 18 stones are like a boost to the 90 stones that I pick. So it's really a stone that I make sure that the energy of that stone fits with the energy of the majority stone that I go with. And I make sure aesthetically, so that if you choose to wear it, you're not like, oh, this is ugly. Why am I wearing orange and brown? This is awful. So I make sure the colors go together, but I also make sure that the stones energetically go together. And I also make sure that, you know, the 18 stones will follow up nicely and basically enhance what the 90 stones are going to be doing for you through your healing process, through your healing journey. So now going into the Guru Bead, and what is the Guru Bead and why is it significant? So the Guru Bead is this bead on your mala. So basically the 108 beads come around and they come together at the Guru Bead. And I'm going to pick this up. So if you're using your mala during meditation, the purpose of the Guru Bead really is that, you know, the mala comes together at the Guru Bead. The 108 beads are being joined together with the Guru Bead. It's the circle. The mala makes up a circle, and it's really coming together at the Guru Bead. And so it's helpful when you're using your mala during meditation, whether you're using it to do mantras, whether you're using it as a breathing tool, regardless of what you're using your mala for, it's very easy to know when you've come to the Guru Bead. And the whole idea is that you can use your mala. It will be an assistant tool, and it won't distract you, and it won't be cumbersome, and it won't get in your way during your meditation, that it just can be there as a guide so that you don't have to think, so you don't have to count. And so as you're going through, and you're going through each of the stones, and you're breathing or you're doing your mantra for each stone, as you go around, all the stones feel the same. All of the stones, you can't tell the difference. You don't really know how far along you've come. And so when you go all the way around and you get to the Guru Bead, you can start to feel that you're getting closer to the Guru Bead, because the tassel is going to come on your hand. You're going to feel the tassel. And as you get to the Guru Bead, you're going to feel it. You're going to know it. It doesn't feel like the beads. It looks different. It feels different. It's a completely different size. Oftentimes it's a different shape. So, and when you get to the Guru Bead, you don't ever pass over the Guru Bead. You just start to go backwards. And what the Guru Bead was traditionally designed for is that when you would get your mala, when you would receive your mala, you would receive a personalized mantra from the guru who gave you your mala. And this is your personal mantra that you would use, that you would recite, and you would say 108 times as you were using your mala during meditation. And every time you got to the Guru Bead, it was so that you could stop and think about and give gratitude for your guru, for the guru who handed you this mala, who gave you your personal mantra. And so it was really to keep in mind that you were a student, and that you were learning, and that you had someone that was pouring their information into you. And so it was really just this daily reminder that I'm grateful for this guru. I'm grateful for this person in my life, for them sharing this information, sharing this knowledge. And so also in, most of the time these days, I'm certainly not any of y'all's guru. And I'm not giving you mantras to recite. I'm not blessing you and giving you mantras. Not yet anyway. Maybe it's down the line. Maybe in my future life that'll happen. So most of the time, that's not what's happening for all of you when you're receiving your mala, right? So for people like us, the representation of the Guru Bead really is, when we get to it, it allows us to really get into a personal space, and it allows us to get into our own self-awareness and our own self-reflection. And it allows us that 10-second pause, that 10-second space to just sit in gratitude for our own self, and to sit in gratitude that we've consciously decided to give ourselves the gift of meditation this day, to connect with our own self, to connect with our own heart, and to really go within for this moment of time, whether we're using it during meditation to breathe, whether we pick a different mantra, one of our own that is meaningful to us, that we choose to say and recite to ourselves 108 times. So the Guru Bead for all of that is really just a representation to allow you to know that you've hit this special bead, that you've hit this other bead in your practice, your breathing practice or your mantra practice, and that you can just take that time to self-reflect and to give yourself that gratitude and that thanks for really giving yourself that gift of time and space to be in touch with your own self and to deepen your own spiritual practice. So that is what I have for you guys tonight. So I will open it up to questions if anybody has any questions. Let's see. Cecilia, did anyone have? Oh.
No, we were also captivated.
Oh, Teresa asked. So no, I am not giving you all. So I definitely am not the guru of all gurus, and and I am not giving you a mantra when I send you. Well, actually, Teresa, I just sent you your mala today, and it does not have a mantra with it. And I'm happy to kind of go over some of those, some options for you. And we did a affirmation together, so there you could definitely use parts of that.
So Sarah, you mentioned breathing as an exercise with your mala and using a mantra with your mala. Are there, like, I guess breathing is good because it helps center you, right? And just helps you be present. If I'm struggling to find out or understand what kind of mantra I should have, what would you recommend I do? Since you're not a guru and you won't assign me one.
I'm definitely not a guru.
Yet.
Yet. That would, yeah. Next lifetime, or maybe 2 lifetimes from now. So we can definitely talk about that. And obviously, like, the mantra that everybody knows is Om, right? Like, everybody knows Om. It's very centering, very grounding. It's probably one of the most common mantras. So Om is definitely something that you could do. Now, we can certainly go over other mantras and talk about other options. There are definitely a lot of books out there, older books, that are very interesting to read. I tried to read some of them that Danielle gave me, and it was very challenging, with a lot of different mantra options. And they're all in Sanskrit, and they all mean various things. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. Well, let's stop recording.